Good morning, everybody, and happy Thursday. Holy smokes, what's going on with this market? Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my goodness. Markets are on a tear this morning. If you're here with me in the Discord chat or in the YouTube chat, go ahead and say what's up. Let's see who's with us this morning. We have Scorpion Futures Trader Page, Redberg, GC Wolf, Franco, Silent NW, SW. Good morning, Seth, A-Trades, Dustin, Astro Nerd, Bill, Scorpion Futures, Viking Trader, Dustin, Dude, Vadim, Kenko, Bird, Potamus, Lurtrix, Spastric, Marcello, Fish, Davey Edge, Big Sexy, Claire, Acumen, Cyrus. My goodness, great. We are launching. O'Keefe, Amateur Genius, Tango Foxtrot, Gratis, Blaze, Juju, STR, CRC, Broken Butterfly, Matthew, Tron, Charlie. Hey, everybody. How we doing out there? We are tickling in for that 19,000 here. Good morning to here, everybody on YouTube. Good morning, Fun Tasty, John, Darren, Christopher, Silent NW Part 2, Storm Scalp, Curran Dula, who I think you won the contest the other day. Curran Dula, congratulations. Good morning, Thierry, Mike B, Cheflaz, Magic NK, Joshua, Michael, UG, Mark, Phillip, Hindsight, King, Ariel, Stack of Bananas, Alexander, Kirk, Richard, McNasty, Richard, Z-Still, PB, Matthew, C. Mark, KQ, or KZoo, Melissa, good morning, WD, Alex, Sir Noodles, M2, good morning. How we all doing out there? Good morning, Kiri, Arthur, Juan, Finn, Deej, Brian, good morning, Larry, Joe, Daniel, Jesper, Paul, K. June, Richard, Ripper Trader, Nate, Joe Fox. Oh my goodness gracious. Morning, Dan Brook. How we doing? Well, we are going nuts over here. This market is still going up. Unfortunately, I did not catch any piece of this just yet, but the morning is still young. We do have jobless claims coming out this morning. We have a lot to talk about this morning. We had so much happening in the last 24 hours since we last spoke together. Well, I guess if you turned into fast markets or slow markets with Coach Dakota, then you probably saw me, about 8 hours ago or whatever that was. But markets are pushing up here. We're looking for 19,000s to trade in the NASDAQ here. 19,000 is not far off. We are about 5 handles away here from 19,000 evens. I'd really like to see a pullback at any point where I could jump aboard this moon missile to Saturn here and see if we could jump on board and catch any of this. I think I'm going to have to wait until jobless claims coming out, though. That is the first piece of news that's going to be coming out here that's important. We have jobless claims coming alongside the Chicago Fed National Activity Index. I do have to ask, is anybody in the market right now long and strong? Anybody? Let's see here. Acumen, yes. We got Tango in it. Dustin's in it. Trader Page. Goodness gracious. Lorenzo, Dustin, Kenko, Silent, Broken. Wow. There we go. Who's got the lowest entry? Is anybody long from basically Globex Open? I'm curious if anybody's in there from like the 800s, any of the 800s there. Anybody. Looks like Stack of Bananas. 863. Wow. Holy smokes. Did you really? That was a perfect entry because that was where it started to base out. Let's go to the chart really quick. Looks like Stack of Bananas might have the best one here. This was that basing out, that beautiful basing out pattern right there on the VWAP. And you can see we are basing out here. We did base out here, and now the VWAP has caught up. So what I'd really like to see, it's pretty unlikely, but what I'd really like to see for a beautiful setup would be a fade down from this level up here and then back down here, and then we can take it up again. But yeah, will that actually happen? Probably not. The question then becomes, do I ride the moon missile into the jobless claims? I'd probably like to just trade this off those jobless claims. I'll have the previews here on the platform pretty shortly and let you know what we're looking for the jobless claims. But if we have an outlier print for that, then it will be an absolutely incredible squeeze today. I don't know if you folks remember yesterday, but I was talking about Nvidia on earnings, and I talked about the possibilities, and I saw a couple of people in chat saying, oh, it's crazy. Because I said that, Nvidia to trade up to 1025 would not be too crazy. And I think we traded 1024 and change, maybe a little bit under. Let's actually see here. I am actually curious. What was the the high point here. We were at a 1023.44, 21s and 21. So yeah, 1023.44 looks like the high mark print. So we were off by $1.56. So we weren't exactly right, but pretty dang close. So next time I'll be sure to make that dollar up somewhere. But yeah, Nvidia, what a move. We'll talk about their earnings call here in the morning show. I do need you folks to do me a favor, though. I would really love to see this if you folks can hit that lucky like button. I have the good YouTube layout again on my side. So I don't know if you folks have it on your side, but I have the good layout is back where you can hit that like button right down below there. So let's take a look at crude, actually. I have a lot of people talking about crude this morning. Yeah, crude is on a tear as well. We have a level all the way up there at 78.55. So yeah, crude's on a tear as well. How about gold? Gold, I think, is also bouncing here off our lows of 23.60 or 23.61.4. But yeah, I mean, just great trades across the board. I think Nikkei as well, doing a little pumpacito here. But yeah, everything across the board is just lighting up here, and it's just fantastic to be seeing this. S&Ps as well, doing a nice little push up after that drawback there. But yeah, all over the map here, we're just seeing squeezing across the board, and the culprit right now is Nvidia. What's interesting is that you're seeing this type of thing happening. If we go into like I guess a 5-minute shows it, but you're seeing this right here where you're seeing these drifting prints in names like Microsoft. You're even seeing it in Meta. It's more exaggerated in Meta. But yeah, you're seeing these drifting prints where it's just that the algorithms have to take these trades, and it just keeps on pushing and pushing higher. And in order to rebalance, they have to continue to take these trades. So yeah, we're just continuing to squeeze here. But let's keep an eye on NQ as it is kind of gunning for that 19,000 evens mark there. Why do I trade NQ over ES? The volatility and the amount of movements that you have where, let's just say that the S&Ps are going in a straight line. The NASDAQ can have multiple points of volatility where you can scalp in and out of it and make multiple points of contact where it's, it has a lot of room and it has a lot of movement. And if you're sharp with your trading, you can definitely lever into certain areas of the moves and capture little bits of the moves that you may not have those little shakes of volatility that you'd see in the S&Ps. So like I said, we do have jobless claims coming out here as we do have people filing into the stream. We are going to be probably touching into those 19,000s there. I would like to see how fast and hard we blow through this. I don't really expect us to run into any kind of resistance up here because there's nothing really offering resistance, especially on the S&Ps here. We are just up and over that prior resistance of, looks like 63, 64. Let's see what we're looking at on the order book here. Yeah, we have room up to 70. There's some folks capping it up at 75. Not that big of a deal. But yeah, I don't expect a lot of impedance here up at 19,000. I think that we have room to run up to our next clubhouse level as well. Hit the horn when we crack 19,000. Yeah, I'll do that for sure. Jobless claims to push the market up or down. Yeah, that's a good question. I'm going to wait for all of the final previews to come on the platform. Look for all the final analysts previews to come on the platform here. And when that happens, then I'll be able to give you some good insight on the numbers that we're looking for. But let's talk a little bit about Nvidia here and their earnings, because they had a great earnings call. They had their adjusted EPS was $6.12. The expected EPS was as low as $5.57. The revenue was $26.04 billion. The expectation on their revenue was $24.57 billion. So they beat on both the top and bottom line there. Their forward stock split is doing a 10-to-1, which is great. So what does that mean if you're unfamiliar for that? If you're holding one share in Nvidia, you're now going to be holding 10 shares in Nvidia, but the price is also going to be divided by 10. So right now we're trading $10.1370 in Nvidia. That's going to now be $101.37. So it's just, that's the rotation there. So that's the stock split that happened. It also will affect the dividend. The cash dividend is going to be raised by 150% to 1 cent per share, which is post split. So if you're holding 1,000 shares of Nvidia, you now have 10,000 shares of Nvidia, and you're collecting 1 cent per share on that post split basis there. They had their great earnings call, and Jensen Huang was absolutely on fire. He did talk about that basically that he believes that we are, and of course you have to understand, he's going to be cheerleading and championing his brand, and you can take what he's saying as a bunch of hullabaloo and hogwash, but I promise you that that some of what he's saying has some impact and some meaning, and there are people that are drinking that Kool-Aid. I mean, there's people out there that think it's a complete fraud, right? But yeah, anyway, so he is saying that we are in a brand new industrial revolution right now, and it's all about accelerating computing. He did say that AI will bring gains to every single company on Earth, that AI will benefit every single company on Earth, and that's why we're in an entirely new industrial revolution here. He did say that there's accelerating demand right now for training, and inference is propelling data center growth right now. He did say that they're transitioning right now from computing where it is right now to an answers and skills model, which is more so AI, where it's sort of like you're asking the computer to answer all of these questions for you, versus that we're using programmers to write this code. Now we're going to be interacting with artificial intelligence to assist in all computing needs now. So an answers and skills model was the takeaway from that. He did say that token generation will drive a multi-year build out of AI factories. So he's expecting that we're going to have just factories that are just churning AI computing power. And they're, of course, going to be using Nvidia chips. So a lot of big takeaways from this. And I think that the market really, really loved it. We are tapping on 19,000 right now. Let's see if we get the bust through. Let's see, do we tap into it yet? We are knocking on the door right now of 19,000. You have to wonder who's sitting there selling that 19,000. Probably somebody just wants to get paid a little bit on their bags there. But yeah, so there's a lot of folks that hate that the market is going up right now. There's a lot of folks that can't stand that the market's going higher. I don't know why, but yeah, there's a lot of people out there that hate it. They hate when they see companies like this coming out and saying this. But the fact of the matter is like, this is not maybe technology, right? We have proof that this technology is real. We have proof that it is accelerating. We have proof that, I mean, this isn't like a, what was that stupid healthcare scam with that blonde chick that tried to be Steve Jobs, but the female version, whatever that was, the blood sampling company. It's not like that, because that was fake technology. This is real stuff. I mean, they've proven this. Theranos, thank you. They've proven this over and over again, that this is a real technology. And I mean, they started in the gaming sector, but this is a whole new world in AI here. Yeah, Elizabeth Holmes, thank you. So yeah, I mean, you can call it a bunch of nonsense, but the reality is that this is the new paradigm shift that we're in right now, and the world is leaning into it. And if you've never experienced AI for yourself, specifically, what it's capable of, I mean, Gemini, I tell this story a little bit, but Gemini has been kind of being worked out. Gemini is Google's AI, but Gemini's been being worked out. But one of the interesting things is that I had a private Google meet with somebody, and they told me some information on that call that was just between myself and the participant of that call. And I asked Gemini a question from one of my friend's computers about something that was related into the data from that Google Meet that we had, a private Google Meet, and it knew that information about it. So I understand that that's probably, I'm sure it's buried somewhere in the terms of service, but you have to imagine if Google is taking all of the live information that is going on right now in our world and getting all of that into a database, which they already are, but they're using it now with AI. Imagine the possibilities that this brings in. Obviously, it's very terrifying, but I mean, you have to understand, like, this is real, this is happening, and the power of a cloud computing software or an entity that can be calculating all of these things in real time. I mean, you could essentially distill all this information and ask it very poignant questions and get really specific answers. And I mean, it's only going to improve. It's only going to get better. So, I mean, take it as you will. But everybody who wants to put their head in the sand and say AI is all fake, this is all fake, I think that those folks are eventually, going to run out of money from shorting this stuff. So, yeah, it's interesting. I'm very bullish on AI technology. I think it's real, but it's frightening. It's interesting. It's exciting. It's all of these things. It's all of those adjectives. So, going to the Q&A highlights, he talked about. This is Jensen Huang and his cohorts. He talked about the Blackwell is their new chip. It's called Blackwell. It's been in production for a while. Production shipments are going to start in Q2 and they're going to ramp up in Q3. Customers will start up data centers in Q4. So this is here and now. This is happening here and now. This is not something where they're saying, oh, it might ship in 2025. No, this is happening here and now. Significant Blackwell revenue is expected this year. And that's why I think that, everybody's saying, oh, why is it going up so much? Why is it going up so much? I mean, again, if they have the monopoly on all of this right now, here and now, then, I mean, they're going to take the majority of the market share for it. And if this is the majority market share where every single company on earth is using a little piece of this technology, well, then there you go. In commenting about supply and demand, they did say that they're racing daily due to high data center demand, and people are wanting to build data centers that they're leasing out, and that's a new demand that they've discovered. Demand right now is outstripping supply, so it's not a question of whether or not people want to be building data centers right now. It's just a matter of supplying that. Then the shift is seen more profound than any structural shift in the history of computing. And again, they're cheerleading their brand, of course, but this is the facts that they're stating on a public record. So their product demand is increasing. They had a big demand for Hopper through the end of the quarter. Their demand is exceeding supply for some time now, and they're trying to catch up with that. The competitive limitations are due to the supply right now, and that's kind of what's weighing on. But Nvidia's technology has been trumping everything in the space. So the future roadmap is saying that they have another chip planned after Blackwell, maintaining a 1-year development rhythm. So they're looking at every single year refreshing their chips, which is healthy. And they have an exciting roadmap for Ethernet development. So that was news to me, and I thought that was very, very interesting. So that's all of the notes that I took from the calls from Nvidia, and it was a very, very exciting. If you're bullish on the future and you like technology, it's one of those things where it was a very exciting call. It was they were saying all of the right things there. I saw something the other day where AI was able to have over a 1-hour phone call and convince people to sign a contract. Yeah, I've seen that as well. I think that was like last year that happened, but yeah, there you go. Let's see. The reason why I shorted 18,999s is not only the price, but I had a wedge and the third head ended there. Always a high probability short scalp. Nice, Richard. There you go. Rips, do you think AI will eliminate retail trading at some point? They already have AI that is trading right now, and we are up against algorithms, and there's always going to be a place for retail traders in the markets. If the markets become untradeable, I mean, I would be pretty surprised. There's a market in having a market be tradable, and it would be very, very strange. It would be the most efficient market on earth if it would never wanted to be traded. But I mean, I just can't imagine that. Morning, y'all. I passed a 50K yesterday, Rip, so I appreciate you. You have helped me with my psychology tremendously. Awesome. Give it up for Nico in here. Exactly. AI will still need liquidity. So, yeah. The enterprise sales peeps at Nvidia and data center vertical are just taking orders and making so much money. Yeah, exactly right. And people are building a lot. That's a new industry that's forming right now, is AI data centers and AI computing centers that they can lease out to companies in the cloud here. AI is like Amazon used to be, overvalued in short term, but massively undervalued over the long term. I like that take there. James Hansen. Very nice. Copilot not loading in Microsoft Edge on Windows 10. Is this just me? Maybe you might need Windows 11. I'm not sure. But I'm not sure about that. AI doesn't care what people think. Yeah, exactly. $100 Nvidia won't be as fun to trade. I'm with you on that one, Whit. That's the only downside, is that Nvidia has been such an amazing trader stock. I mean, you have to think about it. If we're going to go, because the price is going to go down to $100 from here for the 10-to-1 split. So if we were going to go from $100 to $1,000 again, then we're going to have a $20 trillion market cap, which kind of is ridiculous. But hey, maybe Jerome is going to turn those printers on or something. Yeah, it is kind of like when Amazon split. It's not like when Tesla split. But yeah, I mean, you have to look at market cap. But hey, I guess if AI is going to power the world, what's wrong with a $250 billion market cap, right? Who cares? Forget about it. Did they announce when the split will happen? I had that, but I don't know where it went in my notes. I had it written down, but I don't know. I must have deleted it. But no, if anybody can help me with that, when is that split? It's probably going to be in end of June, something like that. It's usually when it's not going to be overnight. June 10th. Thank you. Okay, cool. June 10th. It's June 10th. Thank you. It's certainly not going to be an overnight thing. It takes time to do that whole thing, and they have to register and do all these things. But yeah. Rips is the unsung psychology guru. The psychology webinar is Clubhouse is the best trading video regardless of trading. So thank you, Shaw. Wow, that's very nice of you to say that. Really appreciate that. When is date of record? Probably, I mean, again, when is date of record? Somebody help me on this one. Date of record, June 7th, takes into effect June 10th. When would that be? Somebody help me on this one. Storm Scalp says, I build AI automations for businesses and the things you can do. This is just the beginning, guys. Wow. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I think that, maybe we're just so used to like magic in technology. We just don't really think about it. The fact of the matter is that we can put in these tiny little earbuds and now we have Bluetooth and, people don't really think about that. I mean, it's not as that impressive, but the fact of the matter is that you can tell AI to draw you a picture and it like draws the most beautiful pieces of art now. And you could just, that's insane to me. That kind of stuff is insane. And it's just the beginning of that. If you've seen any of the AI video technology that's coming out, this stuff is insane now. And this is just taking a text prompt and then turning that into something. It's absolutely bananas. Good morning there, Sarl. Good morning. Good morning. Speaking of AI, I saw part of the not so slow markets of you and Dakota. Good stuff. Yeah, thank you. Did anybody catch that trade that we were talking about? We had that breakout trade going into that. I would have just have loved to be. It's just so funny. I just think there's more often than not, I run into these situations where I'm either streaming or writing a memo or doing something. I have some kind of previous commitments, but I end up missing these really, really nice setups, these really, really nice trades. Let's see if we have anything on the platform here. So jobless claims we're looking at 220,000 is the estimate. The prior read was 222,000. I love it when they do this. There's your 19,000. There we go. We did it, folks. Like I said, crazy town if you're shorting into this, but yeah, there it is, 19,000 on the NQ. So the initial jobless claims, we're looking at 220,000. The continuing claims at 1.79 million is what we're looking at there for the initial jobless claims and continuing claims. So I would say that if we have a print like 230,000, the market will boot, scoot, and rally. If we have a print like 210,000, maybe we have a little bit of a pullback, and that would be a nice opportunity to look for longs to continue buying this market. Now, we have to be worried too about this. We've been talking pretty bullish this morning, but the bear case is that we have profit taking on Nvidia, because you might have some traders who are short-term time frame traders that are looking at potentially saying, I want to get out of this position because Nvidia is not going to be a great trader stock. You can also have people that are rolling up their contracts, which is bullish. But you could have people piling into puts because they're saying, it's an overreaction on earnings. There's so many things that can happen. The dynamics of the market here off the open could sway things, and we could see a big fluctuation in price, both on this jobless claims print and on the open here. So let's look out for that. We do have the jobless claims coming out in 6 minutes here. 6 minutes. Yeah, it's pretty funny of some of the things that it gets wrong. I saw a picture of nuns fighting poverty, and it was a nun beating the crap out of starving children. Oh my God. You have to be very specific in your prompts. That's what it is. There you go. Gardula says, RSI shows no strength to the upside. Imagine if that worked all the time, though. We'd all be trillionaires, right? If it was that easy, we just could write a script to just trade off of one single indicator like that. It'd be simple. It's kind of like, there's more to it than that. There's so much more to it than that. If it was that simple, we'd all be trillionaires. We could all just go home. Nice, O'Keefe. I love that. It looks like that's your version of slow markets, I'm assuming, right there. Any expected volatility from PMI? Yes. So PMI is a hot ticket item today. That's going to be out at 9:45. New home sales, I don't think as much. But PMI, yes, I think so. I'm going to take a quick little restroom break, folks. I will be right back, but I want to be back here for the print. I'll be right back with you. And we are back. We are 90 seconds away from the print, folks. Let's get this party started over here. See how we can do on this print. Would love to have been long in this thing, but we'll see if we can catch anything nice here. Remember the claims is 220,000 is the number we're looking for. 220,000. Over that, we should see the market rip, and 1.79 million is the continuing claims estimate. Market just wants to rip here, so let's see what happens, folks. Good luck, everybody. Hey, welcome back there, Herb. Good to see you back in here. And we're coming up to our next Clubhouse level here, 7 3/4. Nvidia has barely even woken up here, by the way. So let's see what happens with this jobless claims. Beautiful, beautiful trading, everybody. $30 seconds, folks. Good luck, everybody. 30 seconds. $10 seconds. $215,000, so a little bit lower. Continuing claims in line. See what happens here. Small reaction so far. Not much of a reaction here, so I'm watching to see if there's any opportunity. Nvidia, no real pullbacks here. I'm going to try a long. See if we can get this break out of these fives here. Some heavy sellers. So if we blow out these heavy sellers, we could see a little bit of a blow off top. There's so many people at 10 right now. Wow, so heavy at 10. If we break out of that, oh my goodness, look out. So many sellers up at 10. Crazy, look at all these sellers at 10. Watching here. See if we can test into these 10s once more. So many heavy sellers at those 10s. Watching here. Seeing if they're lagging this still. I have my stop. Let me move that actually a tick higher. Just in case. I need to see us through these 10s here and now. So we're testing again. There's so much liquidity up here. They keep on capping off super heavy. Let's see. We just need one little initial push through this, and then we blow out all of these initial shorts into that jobless claims print. Watching here. Wow, look at that. So they're super heavy, but if we can get through this stubbornness, we'll start to see a little bit of a blow off here. So now they've moved to 13s. Just wish I had more room in this trade. They're still very, very stubborn, which means that this will give us a lot of fuel if we can just break out of the stubbornness, like 15s and 17s would bring us above that stubbornness. watching here. Still dealing with these 10s. Slight downtick there from Nvidia as well. Yeah, we still have some cappers into these 10s as well. So definitely a little bit concerning. Let's see if we can hold this push back in. All right, see if we let this drift into, say, 15 or so, and then we have that test of any overhead supply. So right now, volume is tremendously low. That will definitely pick up in about 10 or 15 minutes here. Seeing if we have any deeper bid to cover showing up. Just watching here. Still around these 10s. See if we get this pop through. If we get that pop above 15, we should see some panic. So watching here for this tickle into 15 now. Okay, there's your 15. This is where I want to see panic. Okay, a little bit of panic. Now watching 17s. Okay, so there's your 17 swipe. You can see all of those orders popping off right into that 17 play. Now here becomes the issue. If we don't have strong bid to cover here, then we might not have this play out for us. But I'm trying to be very patient in this price action. Retest of 17s. There is a larger order band that moves us all the way up to 39 3/4 to the top side, but we have to get through this 27 player first now. So 39 3/4 would be that initial burst target here. So 17 is the troublesome area. We have to find buyers to start to carry us. And Nvidia still hasn't woken up yet. Nvidia starts to wake up, this thing should explode. Now, lower liquidity here as we tapped into those 17s. We had a little bit of a blow off into that. About 150 contracts. So a little pullback there after we tagged 17. Trying to not be scalpy in this trade, but the way the price action's shaping up here, I would have desired a little bit more liquidity coming into the plate there as we tapped into those 17s. So see if we have any more strong liquidity coming in here. A little pullback there in the S&Ps as well. We're at the VWAP in Nvidia, so we do need to see strength showing up here and now. Little bounce from Nvidia, that's good. So if we get above that trigger point of 17, then it should be a straight shot to 27s, at least from what I can see. So watching for a 17 retrigger. I'm not even going to say it. $20K next week is not unrealistic. Yeah, I mean, there's a low, you have to understand we have a very low amount of inventory here, and it doesn't take a lot to push us up. I mean, 20,000 is pretty lofty, but yeah, it doesn't take a lot to push the market on lower inventory. So as long as we can hold some bids, like hold this bid stack at the 10s, I think that we should get some rocket fuel. Nvidia really isn't doing us favors here because Nvidia is not giving us like a reversal spike, because that would be ideal for us right here and now. But again, Nvidia hasn't been fueling this yet. So if we do have like an open where Nvidia just starts to take off, then yeah, we'll get that nice move there to the top side. So very, very low liquidity here. You might have some liquidity showing up now at 13. Let's see if we get an exchange here. Yeah, that was just a spoof. So somebody spoofed, like a 25 lot, seeing if we could attract liquidity up there, and nobody took that. Nvidia price right now is 10.16 and 15 cents. So testing the stack at 10s. Still have some weaker buying right now. Not a lot of heavy buying coming in. A little healthy pullback there. Let's see if we can get to solidify back above these 10s now. Just showing a little bit of weakness here, but I want to see stronger bids because then that means that we're building up fuel for a squeeze back up. So watching here right around these 10s. A little bit of top capping at those 10s again. Actually going to move my, well, I guess I can always come back in. So maybe just leave my stop, even though we can get tagged and go right back up. Probably the right thing to do is just leave our stop there. But we'll see. It's just, I mean, it's such a bad area for a stop. I really should just have it down there. It's a really, really bad area for the stop. All right, so S&P is pulling back. We did break VWAP in Nvidia. So the lower area of Nvidia that we want to hold is 1013s there. 1013s is the hold point on Nvidia that we're looking for. All right, nice push back up. Let's see if we can retest these 10s again, because that would show some nice strength here. Nvidia is printing green again. So let's watch for that retake of 10s. And right now, what's funny about this is that overhead supply, like double-digit overhead supply, low double-digit overhead supply, like 25, 35, that's doing the trick of keeping the price constrained. So if we have one player that's stepping in here, I mean, this can easily get blown out, and then we get all of those early shorts panicking, and then there's such low inventory to the top side that it should start to push back up the price. So 10s are a big whole number here where you should see people capping on, but if we break through that, we'll start to see shorts panicking here. So watching here on this price action. Nice bounce from Nvidia. Nice bounce in the S&P. And we just need this 10 area to clear out here. There we go. A little perk above those 10s again. Let's see if we have that follow through now. There we go. So there's all those early shorts getting squozen. Just like that. And now we look for that 15 trade once more. There we go. There's that 15 pop. Now we're getting that congruency that we're looking for. Yeah, extra squozen. All right, through 15s, you can see that they're still making feeble attempts to cap off here, and we're still driving. So that means that we do have some early shorts that are kind of panicking out, but I'm not seeing super strong bids here, which is a little bit concerning. So I want to see that panic, but I also need to see big, strong bids replacing into that panic. So nice pull up to that 15 area, but no strong bids underneath just yet. All right, that's what I want to see there. Through 17 now, pop, pop. Going for all-time highs here through 18 halves and slamming right through. Beautiful. My biscuit has been buttered. Nice, Mark. I can't believe it's not butter. That is amazing. Why you keep saying shorts? There is no shorts. This is all-time high. Well, I don't understand what you're saying. Great call, moving your stop. Yeah, that was, you know, it was getting to that point where it's like, you know, I got to give it a little bit more room. I just would like to be, I'd like to be up in the rafters here. I mean, ideally, I'd like to be trading above 30s here. So we can, I mean, at least 20s. I mean, I'm not going to ask for a lot, but at least above 20s, because above 20s, I think we start to solidify some stronger bids here. I mean, and the pullbacks become less dramatic in my opinion, but we'll have to see. It's very, very low liquidity here, which makes it tremendously difficult to read this. I'm doing my best here. Market often comes back to retest those levels like 19,000. Yeah, and we could see that. I mean, you know, guess I could move my stop to 98 quarters or so, but you know, we're in this trade. We're letting this work here. We're trying to see I want to see like 15 should be the floor replacement now. And if we can have stronger bids pushing this up, then we'll start to solidify that price action there. Martin B says, Nvidia down to 890 today or tomorrow. Wow. Are you short in Nvidia? Past 3 combines this week and taking next week off to start XFAs fresh in June. Nice, golf guy Mike. Give it up. Yeah, we do need more liquidity, David. We absolutely do. Martin's gonna get cooked. Oh, I mean, don't be mean. Everybody's entitled to their trade idea. That AI pump in the solar sector was crazy yesterday. Oh, I used to trade FSLR back in the COVID days. FSLR was a hot one. All right, looking for new all-time highs here. Tickle, tickle, knock, knock. Who's there? It's the morning crew, the old Clubhouse crew. Folks, if you're enjoying this trading, I mean, do me a favor. That's not it. That's the wrong button. That's my total P&L. Do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and make sure you are subscribed to the stream. And if you could also do me a favor as we're watching this price action unfold, follow me on Instagram because we are this close. I mean, we're like 10 followers away on Instagram from hitting 5,000. We started an account with 0 followers like a couple months ago. And then on Twitter, we did it. We hit 20,000 followers on Twitter, which is great. So awesome. Yeah, we are just tickling, but again, we need that straight shot of liquidity straight through. So there you go. There's a little bit of a push. Let's see if we can lean into it. There's Nvidia popping up as well. So if Nvidia wakes up, you can see how powerful this will be for the NQ here. But it's just funny because nobody wants to be that first one in the pool. Like somebody's defending 20s here and nobody wants to be the person to knock out those 20s just yet. So it's a little bit, is what it is, right? Stronger bids now above 15, but I want to see that continuation. Stop being so scared. Don't be so scared to be that first person in the pool in through those 20s. Rips, you've gained more subs than the live YouTubers that have been around for 3 years. Yeah, it's been tremendous. I mean, the support that you folks have given the morning show here has just been amazing. Couldn't be happening without everybody in here, this amazing community that we've all been building together. It's fantastic. I really enjoy spending our mornings together. It's a lot of fun. Just reading about Jesse Livermore, who shorted the crash of the 30s and believed he made 100 million that day and age. Wow. Wowzers. All right. So, I mean, imagine what would happen if the jobless claims print was good. At least it got me an opportunity to get in. New all-time highs here on NQ. Hold above these 20s. Just do it one time for me, and then I can just be comfortable in this trade. Just show me some panic bids. It's all I want. Is it so much to ask for? Just show me panic at the bid scope. Just a little bit of panic on the bid. That's all I want to see. What size do you filter the orders on the time sales? You ready for this? Nothing. I don't use a filter. I like seeing the drumbeat of the market. It's a lot to handle for some people, but I love seeing the drumbeat of the market myself. It bothers me when I don't see everything. So I like to see the entire kit and caboodle. That's right. Panic at the bid scope. This has been a massive move, which is going to cause some downdrafts today in these small ranges. Past couple days are a thing of the past. Yeah. It's all about Nvidia, really. It's all about Nvidia today. And if we do have people that continue to, let's say they roll into calls and then they roll up those calls. I mean, remember, you're getting 10 contracts now for each contract that you own. And obviously the price is going to be adjusted, but you're getting 10 times, 10 times the value, right? So we are still pushing up. Let's see if these 20s can just, we need to get away from 20 is the thing, right? We have liquidity up at 25, but we just need to get up. There we go. Oh man, there's somebody capping. That was a huge iceberg right there, by the way. That was iceberg right there at 22 quarters. Why are you even there, buddy? What are you trying to do? You know what? That was an iceberg flip, actually. So somebody had an iceberg at 22 and quarter, and they flipped right out at 19 and a quarter. So that was an algorithmic move. That's something that humans can't do as quickly as that algorithm did. But they literally just took whatever they did and exchanged it. Literally, what was that? 3 handles lower. So they put as much as they want. They could have 5,000 contracts up there, and then whatever they take, they put right at the bid 3 handles lower, and then they're out. I mean, that was a perfect iceberg exchange. You see that often, but it can cause momentum back to the downside, which is unfortunate. Yeah, so there was a large iceberg there. Let's see if they're still there, if we can retest that iceberg. They're at all-time highs. Nvidia, I do want to see up and over 1020. If we can get above 1025 today in Nvidia, look out. It's going to be tremendous if we see that. So we lost 20s in the NQ here, which is not great. 50-minute bar is going red. Also not great. Everybody's looking for an excuse to short this market, and these pullbacks can add momentum to the downside because it makes it seem comfortable for shorts, right? You have calls in Nvidia. What strikes do you have there, Will? What's your strikes and what did you pay? What is a lot of money in the United States for someone who is, let's say, 25 full developed brain? I mean, that's an odd question. It depends on where you live, right? $1 million in Nebraska is a lot different than $1 million in California. Depends on your location. I'm looking for PT changes on Nvidia this morning. Calls with 1500 strike. What's your expiry? Hopefully you're playing leaps. Rips, do you think that gap can get filled to the downside? Yeah, sure. Anything can happen. But we're going to have to see a lot of people selling out of Nvidia, which can happen, of course. You know, we had this run up to earnings. I've seen it happen all the time where you have a big earnings print and the earnings are super strong and then there's a massive amount of profit taking. I see it happen all the time. To think that that could not happen is silly. Of course it could happen. Anything can happen, right? It's the market. Sometimes they're completely irrational. You might think that us continuing to bump is completely irrational, and you might be right. Hey, Igor, how you doing? In a little while from now, all those NVID processors will throw icebergs all over the top. Yeah, that's true. 1 million Cali can buy you a fixer-upper. Yeah, I could definitely pay for the closet in that fixer-upper for sure. 19,020 is a 100% volatility move based on VIX. Makes sense why it's having a hard time. Thank you for that. Rips, doesn't that feel wrong, especially when taxes are highest in these areas where $1 million is less? Also, you see higher wealth gap in those areas. I mean, it is what it is. Everybody's kind of got the choice in where they want to live. You know, you don't have to live in California. You don't have to live in Nebraska. You don't have to live in Florida. You can live wherever you want for the most part. Why have you not moved your stop back up? What do you want me to move it to? Nay. What would you like? What would make you happy? I'm confused about Bitcoin. I don't understand it or trust it. Can't hold it. Electric requirements. What's the big deal? Is that Jerry Seinfeld in chat? That's funny. What's the deal with Bitcoin? I can't do Jerry Seinfeld. I'm sorry. I'm not even going to attempt that. Come to Switzerland like Tina Turner, give up your U.S. citizenship. Yeah, maybe. We'll see. What's the deal? Yeah, what's the deal with Bitcoin? UBS analyst Timothy Arcuri maintained a buy rating on Nvidia and set a price target of 1,200. That seems a little bit low for price targets. Let's see. I want to see what these analysts on my screens are saying here. So we have Citigroup at 1,260. Bernstein is at 1,300. UBS is at 1,200. Tier 1 is at 1,320. Yeah, not too shabs, right? I think those are low. Because remember, 1,320 is only $132 now. It's a bargain. Hey, good to see you there, Hashir. Good to see you. How many likes are we at? Can we do a poll yet? Let's see. If we're at 500 likes, we will do a poll. Let's see. We are at 657 likes. Awesome. Let's keep liking the video here, folks. If we get to, let's do 1,200 likes today because we have 2,500 people watching. If we get to 1,200 likes, then we will do a Top Step Combine giveaway. Free Top Step Combine. We're going to do a fire drill. Wait, why is that not working?
He's on fire!
Okay, there we go. So why is that button not working now? All right, so let's run a poll here. Will the NQ end the day above or below? I'm just going to make it easy on you folks. 19,000. All right. Vote away on that poll, ladies and gentlemen. Vote away, vote away. Let's see what happens here on the markets today. Will the NQ end the day above or below 19,000? We are trading 15 points above 19,000, but that doesn't mean it's going to stay there. Market's going to open. It's going to do some things. It's going to do some things. I promise you that. That's a guarantee. It's going to do some things. Vincent, the levels for gold are posted in the memo from Monday. So if you ever want to get the levels for gold, for the Dow, for oil, you always go back to the morning memo channel and then go back to Monday's morning memo. And that's where you can find it. And that's for you, Vincent. On my practice account, I blew it out. I got greedy and bought at the wrong time. My daily loss limit. I then went into my 3 Top Step X combines, emotionally tried to make up, and then lost 403 in one combine. Locked it out of Top Step X as I didn't trust myself any longer for today. I locked out of all the accounts, even the practice account, after I reset it. Love that, Will. Nice self-control there. Locked my combines even before taking the trade. There you go. If taking into account 10-to-1 split, Nvidia was just $12 2.5 years ago. Well, do that for Tesla. Tesla was very, very cheap if you look at all the split adjustments there. Tremendously cheap. I've only been trading NQ for just over a month now. Came from the ES, and it's amazing how it moves in comparison. Yeah, it is a wild beast, right? It is one of the most wild. I mean, it moves like a small cap. If you ever traded small caps before, it moves like a wild small cap ticker. I'm just watching over here. We still have a bunch of overhead supply that we're kind of wrestling with. The market's not really finding any more upward trajectory here. And we're just kind of waffling around between 10 and 20, I guess you could say. Ethereum was created with the idea of smart contracts, whereas Bitcoin is a proof of work. Oh, you're giving a real answer here. Ethereum is smart contracts. It pays out when an agreement between the buyer and the seller has been met. That is very true, yes. Welcome, Rocket Beats. Welcome to the chat VIP. John Pittman up $1,000, made $7,000 yesterday. Paper, but getting better. Thanks for being there, Ribs. Awesome, John. Way to go. Hey, you know what? You practice on paper, you get consistent on paper, and then you move over in combines, and then it all becomes real. You get into the combines, you make some good trades, you get on the XFA, and it becomes real cash. Real deal cash, right? Get out, Rips is calming down. Thank you, Lou. Are you short? Begs the question. Are you short there, Lou? And what's your price target? Because you saying it's calming down is not doing me any favors. The use of smart contracts, a system of economy, allows for a combination of the major 3 financial systems of communism, capitalism, and socialism. There you go. Do I own Bitcoins? Not anymore, no. I owned Ethereum, I owned Bitcoin, I owned a bunch of different fun little cryptos throughout my days. I was a big investor in a lot of different ICOs. I used to I just chucked in Ethereum into ICOs like it was water, just like it didn't even matter. Hey, Rip, City fined $61.6 million after system failures led to a fat finger error. A trader was trying to sell a basket of equities worth $58 million, accidentally input a basket of $444 million. Yes, I'm sure it was a fat finger and totally not planned. But $61 million, or I guess pound fine, but not that much for them. Really not. Is there a chance that NQ dumps down? Of course there's a chance for anything. Of course there is. NQ can come right back down. NQ can trade all the way back down to, what is that, 971, can trade down to 938. It really is up to Nvidia. Nvidia is kind of the hand that's holding things up or down in the market right now. How do you get over the anxious feeling when in a trade and giving up that profit, potentially losing and being wrong? It's causing me to lose money when I don't need to and not making as much. Just relax. Relax. Trade in a practice account. Just relax. Silk Road. You guys are talking about Silk Road here. It's going to be interesting to see what NVIDIA options traders are doing on the market open. Yeah, that's what I'm looking towards as well. That's going to be everything, right? And if they are all getting out of their calls and they're not rolling up, well, then that's going to bring the market straight down, right? Right now, we're still dealing with that rejection that we had with that order exchange at 22 and a quarter up there. So we hit that exchange up there and we immediately started selling off, and we haven't stopped drifting lower since. We're at that level of 7s right now, where if we don't start to really solidify things, we have a potential to make it all the way back down to those 90s, if not lower 70s. So, And right now, Nvidia is drifting a little bit lower here, just a touch lower. 13s are on the horizon here. So 10,013 is on the horizon there. Let's see here. Nvidia selling a little bit. Yeah, we had it perk up and then we had it selling off a little bit, but just gonna chill, just relax and let the trade take its course and just hang out and do what I'm gonna do here. Yeah, where they are next week, and then, you know, hey, Nick for a tick, welcome. Good to see you there, buddy. Looking to see how SPX and Nvidia options are. 1050 level, 950 level, settle end of week. That's right. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what's going on with the further dated out, the longer dated contracts, and looking at potentially the June monthly contracts. I want to see actually how much liquidity that we have in those Junes. Let's see here. Nvidia, let's look into the monthlies here. For June 21, let's see how much volume we had here, how much open interest rather. So we have some heavy open interest at the 1100s, the 1200s, the 1150s, the 1300s, the 1250s. So we have some open interest there. We definitely have some open interest. If I do get stopped out of this, that's definitely not the end of my trading for me. I'm definitely going to be looking at trading this off the open, but I still like the entire trade, even though we were up a little bit. I still like the trade idea. Here's your 9 a.m. injection of liquidity. This is important. Looking for Nvidia to see whether or not it's going to hold. We are in the S&P futures here. We are sitting at the 20 EMA, and it's not showing a lot of strength. So there's a good chance that we have, I mean, we could be rolling all the way down to the 50. Right now, we're just holding at the 20. If we roll down to the 50, I mean, it could affect things quite a bit. It could give a little bit of downward pressure there. So our stop is at 98 quarters, which might be a little bit tight, but I mean, there's a good chance that this thing could run all the way down to, I mean, with a little bit of a flash, like 87, and then I'd probably be a buyer at 87. But it'd be really, really nice if we can get through it without that kerfuffleation. So some front running going into that 19,000 level. The only thing I could do would be like right there, giving us a little bit more room just in case we got that flash down through and somebody's like front running 98s and they're not strong enough to hold it. But yeah, I still like the trade idea here. This is where we're going to have liquidity coming on. We're going to have some of those algorithms that provide liquidity turning back on here. Still do like the trade idea, and this will be easier for me to read liquidity as we get closer and closer to that 925 level. We are seeing a stronger bidder stepping up that's starting to push up the order a little bit here, but I'm not a believer. I think they're just trying to finesse price and see who's got offers here. Yeah, they were just trying to lift up and see who had offers. Turn those machines back on. Does anybody know what movie that one's from? There's some pop trivia for you. ES will need to maintain 53.48. Yeah, we need to see it holding, above the 50s, really. Yep, Trading Places, that's the one. Great film. Great movie. If you've never seen that, do yourself a favor and watch that one. All right, here's this 19,000 test. There's a good chance we smash right through that, but then we find some stronger bids. But, right now we are seeing things touch and roll over here, but that doesn't matter. It allows us to, if we get stopped out, reposition and look for our trade here off the open. Can I stream in 1440p? If I did, the problem is that we're going to increase the latency, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to have increased latency for you folks that are watching only on YouTube. So if I don't stream in... When I stream in 1080, I can do ultra low latency with YouTube. If the moment that you go to 1440p, then the latency changes and you can't have ultra low latency. All right, here's that 19,000. Not a lot of strong bids here. It's I'm not seeing what I'd want to see if I was trying to pick this up long. If I was trying to open a long here, I'm still not seeing anything that's keeping me in this position here. So be happy to get stopped out here. Not seeing anything super strong. We're seeing very, very lofty bids here, stronger, thicker offers. So this is coming back down. Our stop is at 96 quarters. fully expect for us to have a little bit of a tag here unless we make a stand at 19,000. That has to happen quick. Nvidia's rolling over tremendously hard now. We had a big break in Nvidia, and that's what's causing this price action to kind of shuffle to the downside here. So big snap in Nvidia. A little bit of a bounce though in S&P is interesting. 971 quarters previous resistance. Yeah, that's the level. 971. I mean, that's 971 halves is our level. So that's what I'd expect to have as a great opportunity to get back into this if we do end up getting stopped out, which I fully expect at this point now. With how heavy Nvidia is being without a bounce here, I fully expect us to get stopped out here at 96 quarters, but I'm not going to adjust anything further at this point. 990 and 970. Yeah, I'm kind of seeing the same thing there. Take profit. I want to be up at 95 quarters for take profit. So that's where I'm looking for the initial burst up here. So about 90 handles of profit. So we'll see. I mean, we really, really have to start putting up some orders here and now and get through a lot of thicker offers. Because like I said, this is a very, when you get into a market like this, you get aggressive shorters. And if they start to build the momentum like this and we don't have anybody that's willing to buy it, I mean, you just have people that are kind of waiting for bargain prices, right? Impressed by the subs to viewers ratio. Superb. Other streams have like 200K and get less than 1,000 viewers. You know, a lot of people also buy fake followers, right? I've never purchased a fake follower on Twitter, on Instagram, on YouTube. And the algorithms know that. Speaking of algorithms, they know that, and they just stop serving organic content to people. I've only grown organically, and we've done it with the support of this amazing community in here. But yeah, if you see somebody that has like 200,000 followers and they're only pulling in like 2,000 viewers, it's pretty obvious that they purchased their followers because they don't know what they're doing. All right, we're seeing one little player here stepping up. I'm just watching this order flow here. And if we do get stopped out, like I said, we will be looking to re-enter this, but hopefully at a better price. And we are getting close to the open here. So I'd expect in about 15 minutes here, we're going to start to see some more algorithms turning on. And then at 9:25, we should see a burst of algorithmic order matching going on here as well. I'm just hoping that we can hold it out long enough where we're not going to get ran over by price. I mean, as the price keeps coming down, it's like, I really want to stay in this trade, but I think we're just going to end up getting stopped out. I'll have to reposition later. This may be a dumb question, but how come the markets have been a little slower, choppier this week? It's a lack of liquidity, lower participation, which makes it easier to move the markets both ways because you don't need a lot of liquidity to move it down into certain areas where you have a very liquid market. It takes a lot more contracts to move the market around, where we have an illiquid market right now. It doesn't take as many contracts to move things around. So let's see if we can reclaim. I mean, I'm not super adamant on this until we start to see a change in the tape here. Should have somebody stepping in about 3 minutes, but we really need to see a tape change here up at 19,000 pretty quickly. You can see, I mean, this is just very, very low liquidity too. Nobody's like, I'm not seeing any strong buyers that are like smacking this tape and hitting it super hard. They're kind of just pushing it up in the moment that we see an offer that's bigger than like 20. They kind of push it in, then we relax that. So like right now, you're going to have a lot of cappers up here at basically 19,002. And it's going to take some stronger buyers to get us through that. Until we have those buyers showing up on the tape, we're just not going to force through it. So watching up here, potential retest of those twos, but I would expect that we're going to run into more icebergs up there. Right now, we're just waffling around 19,000. If we held 19,000 here for an extended period of time, that would also be a good thing for the longs, because the longer we hold this, the more bids that we're solidifying here. So let's see if we can pop right above twos, then I can get a little bit more relaxed in this position once more. So we'll see. Ribs, why would my combine not show the full dome? Personal account shows, but not my combine, because you have to pay for data. You have to pay for that extra data, which I believe is $39 a month through Top Step. But yeah, if you don't pay for that data, then you won't have it. In your personal account, you probably get market data for free, or you're actually paying for it and you don't know it. Some firms offer you that real-time, full depth of market for free. Some firms, not all. Let's see if we can get a little pushback up into those twos. You can see how, I mean, these are single lot, 2 lot, 3 lot, 1 lot, 1 lot. This is where we need Dakota with the house account to just start pushing things up here. Some stronger bids at 19,000. Can we push up through 2 though? Yeah, no. Still running the same thing, just very, very low liquidity and thicker offers here. And as we're chopping here, I really just like, forget it. The last thing I want is to be tagged out, like right there in a little flash through 95. Last thing I want to get is just a little quick tag there, and then I miss the rip back above 19,000. Because we're moving in so close to this area where algorithms can turn right back on here. We have 1 minute until we'll probably see some facilitation in that area. But yeah, price discovery mode is true. And that's why we're seeing that when we have these offers that are thick and it's just on lower liquidity, it's basically a test to say, is anybody interested in buying here, right? And if the answer is resoundingly no, then we continue to drift lower. So we are about 30 seconds here from 9:10, and we should see some algorithms turning on for that. Nvidia is pushing back up, testing above the 50 EMA. See if we can get above these 2s now. This is a big test at these 2s. Yeah, still the same thing. Not enough liquidity to push through those 2s yet. Seems like a good spot for people to be covering as well. So covering and capping right there, a little CNC. Seeing huge orders? I'm not seeing any huge orders, no. None whatsoever. So there's a strong bid, but I don't believe it. I don't think it's a real bid. I think that somebody's just going to take it right away. They're going to swipe that liquidity, in my opinion. I think they'll take that right away. If we can use that to get through the 2s, I'd be shocked. Yeah, still not happening. Somebody's going to take that liquidity there. They took it. Yeah, I've seen that trick too many times there. They take that liquidity and it's just like, yeah, not going to happen. That was like kind of the final last stand for those 2s there. It was basically, they put up a strong bid and they say, all right, let's see it. If you folks want to take the 2s, take the 2s. And then they just don't take it. So we flash right through that. It was a decent size order too. It was about 100 contracts there. So S&P is still rolling over here. Tesla's off to the races, by the way. It's too bad that Tesla doesn't have more of a weight in the NQ. S&Ps are pulling back dramatically here. Be really nice if this was just a little dip and moving our stop actually made sense here. But yeah, if we do break down below this, a pullback to 71 halves, that would be ideal. And then we can get an entry there and then look for what happens with Nvidia's order flow off the open here. See if we retest 19 here. You can see if you're watching time and sales, you can see exactly what I'm talking about as well. If we're watching time and sales, you can see these are single lot prints. We're not seeing anybody outside of to the bid side, right? They're selling into the bid. We're not seeing anything buying offers here, right? Nothing at all buying offers. Pullback needed 1,000 points up in about 3 weeks. Yeah, I mean, there's going to be pullbacks, of course. But if there's no, negative news, no bad news, then, there's things that can keep the market afloat. We do have that news that's going to be coming out 15 minutes after the open, the global manufacturing PMI, the services PMI, and the global composite PMI. That's all going to be out 15 minutes after the open. That will be the other piece of market moving news today. We do have Bostic who's speaking at 3 p.m. today, but that's not going to be that big of a deal. As far as earnings go after the close, we have Intuit, which is not a big deal. We have Ross, Workday, nothing really big there. Wow, we got really close to being stopped out there. I know this is irresponsible. Every time I see it come down, then I see these bigger bids stacking up like 90s, 87s. It's like, well, if I'm going to go back long here, I might as well just hold it down a little bit lower there. Let it be known, Rips thinks 8,000 is chicken change. What do you mean? Why do you say that? Gold to play today. Let's check out the gold chart. Yeah, gold is bouncing off our 61 spot 4 level there, which is great. Yeah, Bostic is a voting member, so it doesn't matter what he has to say. Reading Anna Cooling's VPA book, talking about the market maker manipulating fear and greed cycle in traders. It's true. It's very, very true. If we could find a single buyer on this tape. And by the way, so S&Ps are back down. We're talking about this. The 61 level here is that level of the 50 EMA. So if we bounce here at the 50 EMA, we get a little bounce in Nvidia as well. I mean, I'm trying to talk myself to stay into this trade, but yeah, I mean, that's what I'd be looking for here. So I heard you and Dakota did a photo shoot at my goat farm. It's true. It's very true. Posted that picture yesterday that precluded slow markets there. Just want to see some kind of buying on this tape right now. We had a little bounce there at 61 on the S&Ps. We're still not, I mean, there's not a single buyer that's showing up on the NQ tape here. I mean, it's not real buying. It's just algorithmic 1s and 2s and 3s. There's no actual buyers that are stepping in. And I think it's because they keep on doing these quick little iceberg exchange where it's like a 200 lot and they just do a little tap, and test. And it's like, yeah, there it is, you know. Yeah, I was on slow markets yesterday. You can watch the replay on Top Step's YouTube channel. Last night's stream was good stuff. Thank you, Loki. Thank you for tuning in. So I'm glad that we didn't get, we actually moved our stop because I probably would have got chopped apart still trying to get back in and then retake this. So as much as I'd like to say, yeah, this will be the final stand. It's really dependent on whether or not we're holding, I guess, these 90s. S&Ps are rolling over through that 61 level now as well. Once you kill it, it will bounce. Yeah, I mean, that's what we've seen in the past here, right? That's definitely what we've seen in the past. Seeing if there's any buyers at all that are stepping into this tape. Yeah, still no buyers. So we have some liquidity turning on about 10 minutes here. About 10 minutes. The worst is when you get tick shotted and then it moves in your... Is that like getting head shotted, tick shotted? The worst is when you get tick shotted. I agree. Yeah. This is the biggest sell-off all day. Yeah, I think you could be right. I think that this could be the biggest pullback of the entire day. What's the low on that candle? Right here. That is 85 evens. Ugh. Yeah, I don't like that stop, actually. I mean, all we've seen right now is just sellers. I haven't seen any buyers showing up on this tape yet. So, I mean, if we get a dramatic shift, I mean, there's a lot of orders that are stacked into these 19,000s now. But, I mean, if we start to see any kind of shift, hold on, let's see this. Looking at this exchange right here. Curious about this, actually. Yeah, that wasn't real. No. I started to get excited. I thought that was a real exchange. No, there's just two algorithms there. Right there at 96 and 97 is just literally an algorithm playing ping pong with itself. Probably the same algorithm. It's stupid. Yeah, it was Matthew. That's why I got excited. It wasn't real. That's funny. Dow is tanking. Yeah, everything's kind of rolling over here. S&P's had a nice little roll there off those highs. Tesla's strong. Apple's weak. Microsoft's still holding. Meta's still holding. Nvidia is showing some strength here, which, you know, I don't really understand how the NQ is bleeding here, but is what it is. Just bad timing. But I mean, this is a healthy pullback. It is healthy to have pullbacks because if this is the deepest pullback, we do have a chance that we could potentially just squeeze and run all day. It really is dependent on Nvidia. I mean, it really is all dependent on Nvidia here. Using 20-tick range bars, everything has been strong negative delta for 30 minutes. 2 of the last 3 bars trying to regain buying pressure. It may hold. I'm still not seeing it on my side. I'm seeing literally buyers evaporated basically ever since we saw that exchange at 922. I haven't seen a single real buyer back on the tape since 922, which is super unfortunate, especially when you're long, Super unfortunate, which is, very uncharacteristic of this type of move. And that's why I've been holding this. It's very uncharacteristic that you go this long. I mean, it's literally been, we're almost going to be in we're over 30 minutes since we've seen an actual buyer come back into this tape. There's not been a single real buyer of I keep complaining the two, Nvidia and NQ. There's not been a single real buyer in the NQ for the last 30 minutes. Not a single one, which is insane to me. And that's again why I've been stubbornly holding this trade out. What is the name of the indicator that you use, the orange blue lines? It's custom, so it doesn't have a name, but it is the hourly high and low. All-time highs and dump all day? I don't know. I don't know. I'd be pretty hard-pressed to see that. If we get that clue from Nvidia, then yeah, could definitely see that happening. But yeah, just unfortunate. I mean, that's the biggest dump that we've had from all of Globex, straight up. I mean, that was the biggest pullback that we've had. And I mean, it didn't look like a blow-off top to me. In hindsight, I don't really see anything that could have clued me in that we're going to have literally every single buyer on earth evaporating from that period in time. So yeah, just don't think that I could have played that any differently myself. I was happy to be holding that long, happy to be holding through pullbacks, but then we had a pullback where literally every single buyer on earth evaporated from the tape. So we will get stopped out here, realize a little bit of a loss. And we are 5 minutes now from that algorithm turning out 5 minutes. And I'm guessing that it'll probably come down, snap our stop, and then we'll be out of this trade waiting for the open and see if we can trade around the open here. Anything to consider for the PMI? I'll have previews on the platform here for the PMI shortly after we get stopped out here. But yeah, it's going to be the last big print of the day. Really, the PMI is going to be giving us some clues into everything. The unemployment print was not great for the market, but it also wasn't an extreme outlier print. So, not really expecting too much of an influence from that print. I don't expect any. We don't have Fed speakers today that are scheduled outside of Raphael Bostic at 3. So yeah, just basically playing the price action here off the open, heavily influenced by Nvidia. That's what we're going to be watching here. I still have not seen a single real buyer in the NQ for 35 minutes now. Not a single one. Any kind of pop-up is simply shorts covering. I haven't seen a single actual buyer on the tape just yet. This is all sellers in the NQ. Let's see on that hourly. Got a 1 hour here. Yeah, there's a potential that we can... I just want to be stopped out at this point, so then I don't have to be thinking about this trade anymore. But let's see here. Inefficiency 50%. So yeah, that's what we're looking at right there. We are bouncing right at the tippy top of that. But again, I mean, we can retrace into, so 970s are like my clean level. It's just funny that it could have got stopped out and waited, but yeah, 970s are kind of the level that I'd like to be a buyer at today. And just like, I'd like to be holding all day. That would be my ideal position, holding all day, or at least till the 990s, maybe appeal at 990s. But yeah, that's kind of my game plan for the day. Looking for longs. If we get stopped out here, continuing to look for longs and looking for a decent value price where we can potentially have new all-time highs and the target being 995. Your info about buyers and sellers comes from Bookmap. That's right. Yep, just reading the order flow in Bookmap. Feel like a tumbleweed just blew across the dome. Yeah. It's pretty ugly stuff. I mean, pretty rare that you see something like this where the market literally goes no buyers. It's pretty insane. It's pretty insane for me to see this, especially for 35 minutes, especially on a day like that, especially after Nvidia. I mean, we've been running up on air all morning and then every single buyer evaporates and then we don't really have any kind of bidders stepping up. I don't know. It just seems something seems a little bit off to me, Just seems just a wee bit off. Just a little bit off. But we'll see. Can we finally find some buyers on this tape? But we are 90 seconds now. 90 seconds away from the, 90 seconds away from the algorithm turning on. And then we're 5 minutes from the open. I'm going to grab a cold one real quick. I'll be right back with you, folks. And we're back. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Now we have a war of the machines. Yeah, the algorithms are back on and still no buyers. Still not a single buyer on the print here. Just let me see here. Yep, still not. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I hear some crackling right now. What's going on? There we go. But yeah, there we go. So I'm probably gonna wait for the open here after we get stopped out. Wait for the open because it's coming in, 4.5 minutes here. And we'll figure out what we're gonna do here. Was ready to place my order right above 19,000 earlier, waiting for the sweep, then the pull up. Yeah. I think that we can potentially wait for that pullback to the 70s if we get down there. Amazon's off a cliff. Microsoft is testing the 50 right now. Meta's rolling over. Apple's rolling over. So not a lot of good things that are happening for the NQ right now. We got stopped out there. All right, so let's get ready to trade the open here. Get back over to our Ninja Trader. But yeah, that was tremendous. Look at that. We got the biggest pullback of the entire session. That was a tremendous pullback and totally unexpected. But hey, that's why we use stops. That's why we trade our best when we can. And sometimes you're the hammer, sometimes you're the nail, sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. This thing is barreling down. 70s are the price I like. 70s are the price I like. Why was it unexpected? Because given everything that's on the table here, I mean, it's pretty wild that we go that long without any buyers. Pretty wild that we go for that extended of a period without any kind of buyers. All right, so we're in these 70s now. This is the area where I'm very, very interested. 71 is that area that I like a lot. So watching here, Nvidia is still holding. Okay, so watching here if we can actually get a nice buy in at these 70s. Watching here. Okay, 71 is that area that I'm watching for. All right. I didn't get the fill that I wanted, obviously, but there you have it. See if this pulls back at all a little bit more. Yeah, I should have just put all three out there at 71. So we hit 71 quarters there off the lows. So 71 is our level that we're watching here. We are 2 minutes here from the open. Amazon off a cliff. ES is bouncing at the VWAP there. Watching here at 71s. So let's see if we can get this price that we want here right at 71s. We are 90 seconds here from the open, folks. 90 seconds. 90 seconds here from the open of the New York session. Still not pulling back. Pull back to like 72. I guess I could have added at 72, but let's see. So some bids there. I mean, that was a nice exchange, but we have to get over 80s to kind of confirm that. We bounced right at our clubhouse level of 71.50. 71 quarter was the bounce. Big bounce in Apple. Nvidia's starting to send it here. So let's see. Watching here. 30 seconds till the market opens, folks. 30 seconds. All right, we are suited and booted. We are ready for action here. $15 seconds. Good luck, everybody. I hope you have a great trading day today. Hopefully all your dreams come true. All your trading dreams come true. Hopefully you get everything you want out of the markets today. Good luck, good luck. And we are off. Wow, big exchange here. I'm looking for a potential add if we hold 70s. Amazon straight back up. Google's going straight back up. Nvidia's going straight up too. Interesting price action. We'll go with 3 lot here. Interesting price action, seeing that we're rolling while all the equities are surging here. Very interesting to see that. Yeah, equities are surging, but we are still kind of rolling here. See if we hold these 71s now without a tremendous breakdown. We're spiking in Nvidia, by the way. That's why I'm still long in this. Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. Equities are shooting to the moon, but NQ is rolling over alongside ES. So bad read there. Nvidia really having no effect here on the NQ. It's crazy. Stopped out. Yeah, that's wild. Very, very interesting to see that. Markets are rolling, but equities are surging. So very, very strange. Yeah, Microsoft's selling down a little bit, but yeah. Crazy, crazy. Let's see if we have anything that we can catch down a little bit lower here at 938 3/4. Apple really hasn't been moving the NQ all that much. Microsoft is down a little bit, but it's not like it's rolling tremendously. We're down 70 cents in Microsoft. So yeah, very, very weird to see that. Nvidia, huge spike too. Crazy. Hey, Coach DBA's here. How you doing there, Coach? We're over here getting smoked. That's how our morning's doing right now. We're getting completely smoked by this price action. Terrible, terrible reads this morning. I mean, if it's breaking through 38s this strong, I mean, do we just take it to the house? All right, watching here at these lows. This is crazy. So there's your bounce rate at 38. Did we miss our one good bounce of the session there? Google's off to the races. Nvidia's tooling up here. I don't know if we're going to give up these 38s, to be honest with you. I mean, I've been wrong all morning. What's another bad call here? Yeah, I mean, 38 3/4 should be holding, but for some reason, Nvidia's off to the freaking races too. Like, Nvidia's going nuts here. Meta bouncing back up. Microsoft bouncing back up. Amazon bouncing back up. Tesla's going straight to the floor. Interesting. We're wrestling at the VWAP here. Wow, tremendously heavy tape there. And Nvidia is rocketing. Wow. So I thought Nvidia was going to have much more influence on the NQ today, and it's just not looking like that. So if Nvidia stopped pumping here, then I guess, I'm going to try a short under 38 now. See if we can get this breakdown to 38 and then potentially be targeting 894 to the downside. And we shorted dead bottom. All right, folks, that's not my day today. I'm going to lock it up here. We are hitting loss across the board, hitting it, and just not in the pocket here. So that's going to set me down $9,000 on the day. Max loss across the board. Unfortunate. So I'm going to lock it up here on YouTube, and it's not my day today. So, folks, I'll catch you tomorrow for Friday, and I will see you bright and early then. Take care, and I'll see you tomorrow.